Hi Wolfgang, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for joining this interview series. Would you mind starting with an introduction of yourself?
Yes, Johanna. Hi. Hi, I'm Wolfgang Tschauko, and yes, I make a VR game.
Fantastic. And I mean, this VR game I think has a lot of history already, and it's such an interesting project. Would you mind telling us, like, where did you start? Where did you grow the inspiration from? And yeah, and where are you now? Pretty much
Yeah,
everything.
the project started originally 4 years ago, and it was a research project. It was a project about body presence in virtual reality. And in the course of that research, I found out like this game mechanic of a big VR player, like being a giant, and a PC player, a classic jump and run player, playing a dwarf, and how much fun it is that these two players have to interact and have to communicate. And I was lucky enough to get a state funding from the AWS, which made it possible for me to extend that student project, which it originally was, and it was only for a master thesis, and to turn this game dynamic into a real game. And yeah, and that's where I'm right now in the middle of the production phase of this project.
Oh, this is exciting. And I mean, there's a by now already a team behind that, right?
Exactly, yeah. Last year, I was still a solo developer, and it was this early prototype that I gave out to the Kickstarter people. And this year, we had a Kickstarter, and it made it possible for me to hire the people to get the team together. And now it's already we're three part-time developers and graphic people, and some freelancers that do also graphic and audio for me and concept art. And yeah, it's yeah, now it's already a real a real game project.
Ah, this is exciting. Like, congrats to that. And
Thank you.
I mean, I would love to hear more about We Are Giants. I think, I mean, since it is already out there, like already for a couple of years, it is such an interesting project which drew already a lot of attention. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Like, what are the main mechanics? How did it change over time? And yeah, what do you want to share with us?
Yeah, so I mean the main mechanics is of course the big and the small player always working together. And like what has changed especially during the last year is with the new team I had this opportunity to increase the production quality by a lot. And there's actually something I can show you right now. So there's I'll share my screen here. Oh no, wait a moment, back here. And I can show you something that I just made yesterday. And it's this. Now I can really work with artists and have this time to really take care about building really nice looking levels with a lot more details than before. And it's like really so much fun to get this quality of production into the project, which originally was just a bunch of blocks that build a lava cave. And now there's all these really good assets like this flowing lava and the castle, which really starts to look nice. And yeah, and now there's just so much more resources to make it look really neat, to really yeah get the best out of the game. And apart from also the graphical changes, there's also a lot of new dynamics that are coming into the game. For instance, now there's this idea for a lava level, an ice level, an Arctic level, in which the giant can create new shapes by putting different snow cubes together that will stick together. And so he can build a plank out of different snow cubes. Okay, this was bad playing here, fell into the water, but it just gives so many more many more different options of how to solve a puzzle or how to build puzzles, even if you have these sticky objects that you can build stuff with. Yeah,
Cool.
and also as you can see, there's a lot of the two main characters developed a lot during the time. So now we have like this small shepherd boy, and the giant is now also in a real shape, like he's made out of stone. And yeah, and there's many more things to come. And yeah, I'm really excited to with all the new puzzles that I can build now, and that's really great. Yeah.
It's impressive to see how this project is evolving over time. I mean, you already triggered my next question. Speaking about the future, what are the next steps? And also a little bit of a bigger question: not only what are the next steps, but also what is the big vision?
The big mission, yes. So I, the next steps is, or the really, really big mission is the release of VR Giants coming in Q3 2021. And so this is like the really big mission for me. And after that, my hope is that I can not only get it out on Steam, but also get it out on different platforms. I think it would work really well with Oculus Quest and with a tablet or a mobile phone together, or on PlayStation VR, of course. And so this will be like the quests after the first big release. And now my next deadline is this Christmas, because I promised to many of the backers that they will receive an alpha. And for me, that means that there should be like at least 3 levels which are almost in production quality. So meaning that I want to show how does a classic green level look like, how does the lava level look like, and how does the ice level look like in a finished quality. And so this is my goal for this alpha. And of course that the gameplay works really well until then. And yeah, so these are like the next steps that are ahead of me still in this Christmas season.
Cool. This is exciting. And I mean, yeah, sounds stressful, but super exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, you already mentioned, I mean, you had also quite a history with this project. I mean, coming from a research project, firsthand. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you learned a lot during this time. And I would be curious, what advices could you give young developers, or maybe students or people trying to get into the games industry?
Mm-hmm. I think the most important thing is to set your scope right. I believe many young people that, or at least when I started, like first fantasizing about making games, I had this idea: what if I make a game that is like GTA, but it has extra stuff on top of it? And of course, with a goal like that, you will never get anywhere, because it's like just such a huge goal. And you're also in comparison to like other companies that do that. So it's a goal that is just not reachable when you start. And so I think for me, what really is really important in this project is to always come back to the main thing, to focus on one main thing and make it work well. And so to always go down to one specific thing that should really work well in the game, instead of going dreaming too big and not getting anywhere. So I don't say don't dream big, because I think that's really also important, but I think choose wisely what is most important and get that out. Yeah,
Oh,
I think that's, yeah.
this is super important. Thanks so much for sharing that. Very, very, yeah, very important advice. The last question is, yeah, I mean, maybe a challenging one, because 2020 has been a challenging year, and every one of us had to cope with different problems, issues, struggles to overcome. I would be interested, like, how was the year 2020 for you, and are there any takeaways, and what are you most looking forward to when things are getting a little bit more normal again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yes, of course, 2020 was challenging, definitely. And I think it hit me really hard, because I was preparing my Kickstarter already, most of the first part of 2020. And then Corona came, and it was about the time that I wanted to initially launch the Kickstarter. And I thought, who's going to play a co-op game now when everybody should be at home alone? And so I was really disencouraged in launching it still. And I thought, okay, YouTubers cannot get second persons to their YouTube channel, because everybody's in isolation. And so I thought it's just the worst time to launch the Kickstarter. But then I thought, okay, I'm just gonna launch it. I've been working on it so long. It's been, yeah, I just need to do it for myself, so that I've done it. And even if it fails, it means something that maybe I can learn from it and take something away. And yeah, and then I posted a GIF on Reddit, and a friend of mine shared it in the main gaming Reddit, and it hit the front page even. I think it got like 2 million views and 80,000 upvotes. And I never would have expected that. and it was it was amazing. And then I knew, okay, the Kickstarter might go well, even though it's not the best timing. And so I think, yeah, and in the end, the Kickstarter went well, and I got so much exposure. I got so much fantastic feedback. I now have a Discord channel filled with people that love the game and that want to see more. And yeah, and that's just I think that what I can take away from this kind of crisis was, I thought it's the worst possible time, but it wasn't, and it worked out great. And so yeah, maybe to not let yourself be disencouraged and to make the best out of it. Because on the other side, what was really positive about this year, besides the fact, of course, that there's a global crisis going on, is that I had really a lot of time to work. And because I mean, of course, I love working on my project, but also it makes it a lot easier to work on my project when I know that there's not a lot of social happenings that I would miss while working on it. And so it was actually a really productive year. But what I really miss about this year is getting feedback. And I noticed this right now because I'm now working on building the new levels and building the new puzzles. And getting feedback from players is so important, because you think something is really clear and people should really understand that immediately. But once you give it to a player, you understand, okay, there's many ways to interpret this sign, or there's many ways to interact with this dynamic. And so I'm really looking forward to exhibiting again and just seeing how people interact with my game and what they take away from it and what they understand and what they don't. And yeah, so that's what I'm really looking forward to again.
This has been so interesting, and I think you pointed out so many important aspects. Wolfgang, thank you so much for this interview, and good luck for the release next year. And yeah,
Thank you.
fingers crossed. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.